In the shadows of icy Antarctica, a story has emerged that has baffled those who've come across it. It involves a former pilot, a no-fly zone, and a discovery that may have been too extraordinary to remain hidden. For years, Antarctica has been a place of scientific exploration, but also one surrounded by whispers of strange activity and government restrictions. Among these whispers is the tale of a man who flew over its no-fly zone and vanished after revealing what he saw. The man, whose name was never widely circulated, was a seasoned pilot with years of experience flying missions to research bases across the continent. According to friends, he was pragmatic, disciplined, and not someone prone to exaggeration. He reportedly flew for a government-contracted logistics company that delivered personnel and supplies across various Antarctic stations. While his job often involved routine operations, one flight changed everything. It was during a supply mission in the southern region, near one of the established exclusion zones, that the pilot and his crew encountered unexpected weather. Visibility was low, and they were forced to adjust their route to maintain safe flight conditions. This new path brought them across a restricted airspace, a designated no-fly zone that, according to official records, existed for environmental safety. But as the clouds parted and the mountains came into view, the pilot and crew saw something they were never meant to see. Embedded within the face of one of the icy ridges was what appeared to be a crash site. The object was massive, distinctly disc-shaped, and silver in color. It was partially buried in the snow and ice, but its outline was unmistakable from the air. The pilot reported that the object was so large it could be seen from thousands of feet in the air. He estimated its diameter to be at least 100 feet, possibly more. Unable to contain his curiosity, the pilot took a calculated risk and brought the aircraft into a low hover, circling the object to get a better view. According to his later accounts, the craft looked freshly embedded, as if it hadn't been there long. It had no visible markings and reflected the light oddly, almost too perfectly. He marked the coordinates and returned to base, unsure of what he had just witnessed. What followed next, according to the pilot, was swift and unexpected. Upon filing a casual report of the detour and mentioning the object, he was contacted not by the usual operations officers, but by men in dark suits who arrived the next day. These individuals, he claimed, were not part of the usual command chain. They identified themselves vaguely, asked detailed questions about the flight path, the visibility conditions, and especially about the object he had seen. He described them as cold and authoritative and said it was made clear to him that this incident was to be forgotten. One of the men reportedly told him that the US military maintains strict control over certain sectors of Antarctica for reasons far beyond environmental preservation. The suggestion was not subtle. What he had seen was not for public knowledge, and any discussion of it could have consequences. Despite their warnings, the pilot confided in a few close friends, telling them about the encounter and the strange reaction it prompted. Shortly afterward, he began to feel watched. He reported seeing black vans parked outside his residence and unfamiliar faces appearing in places he frequented. At first, his friends brushed it off as paranoia, but then, suddenly, all contact with him ceased. The last known communication came just a few days after his final conversation with one of his closest friends. Then, nothing. He went silent, his phone unanswered, and he didn't show up to his work assignments. His home, according to the friends, appeared untouched, and there were no signs of struggle, no evidence of departure, but he was simply gone. What troubled his friends the most was that this behavior was completely uncharacteristic. The pilot had no family, but he had always maintained close contact with his inner circle. He was reliable, punctual, and not one to simply walk away. His disappearance left behind no clues, no explanations, just a lingering sense of unease. Years have now passed, and his story has only become more mysterious with time. Those who were close to him remain convinced that his vanishing is directly connected to what he saw on that mountain. They believe that the object was not of conventional origin, and that he may have stumbled upon something deeply hidden, perhaps a downed craft, or even a structure that was never meant to be seen by civilian eyes. Some have tried to investigate the no-fly zone he mentioned, but little information is available. The area remains highly restricted, and satellite imagery is often too vague to offer any confirmation. Researchers have latched onto the story, drawing parallels between his account and other unusual reports from the region, including claims of underground installations, unnatural heat signatures, and otherworldly anomalies. His friends still wait, still wonder, and still hope that one day answers will surface. Until then, the mystery endures, a chilling reminder that even in the age of information, there are still places on Earth where secrets are buried deep and silence speaks louder than words. Few places evoke such deep mystery and speculation as Antarctica. Its expansive frozen wilderness, largely unexplored and untouched, provides the perfect setting for stories that stretch the boundaries of our understanding. Among these tales are reports of unidentified flying objects embedded in the ice, strange metallic forms seen protruding from snow-covered terrain or buried just beneath the surface. These accounts, stretching back decades, continue to ignite the imagination of researchers, explorers, and curious minds around the world. Witness descriptions of these objects vary, but often share compelling similarities. The shapes are frequently described as metallic and smooth, contrasting starkly against the jagged, natural formations of Antarctica's glacial landscape. Some witnesses report seeing classic disc-shaped craft, resembling the iconic flying saucers popularized in mid-20th century UFO sightings. Others have claimed to spot cylindrical forms or even triangular objects partially buried in snow, as if frozen mid-descent or intentionally concealed beneath the ice. One of the most intriguing elements of these reports is the emergence of satellite imagery that appears to support the claims. In recent years, both space agencies and independent satellite companies have released high-resolution images of Antarctica's surface. Among the vast white plains and jagged mountains, some viewers have spotted what appear to be geometric anomalies, shapes that seem too symmetrical or too isolated to be natural. These images have been shared widely across online communities, inviting speculation about the origins and purpose of the objects. While skeptics argue that such formations are more likely natural ice ridges, crevasses, or shadows playing tricks on the eye, others maintain that the objects exhibit features suggesting intelligent design. Some of the structures appear to form perfect circles, have reflective surfaces, or possess right angles, traits not typically associated with random geological formations. These claims are often accompanied by theories that the objects are remnants of crashed spacecraft, long dormant and hidden under centuries of snowfall and ice buildup. Others take the mystery a step further, proposing that the anomalies are not the result of recent incidents, but relics from a much older time. The theory of ancient civilizations having once existed in Antarctica is not new, but it has gained momentum in connection with the UFO narrative. Proponents suggest that these civilizations may have had advanced technology and that the objects seen today are part of a lost legacy buried beneath layers of ice. They point to the symmetrical patterns in satellite imagery and unexplained heat signatures discovered under the ice as potential evidence of long-lost cities or technological hubs. Some researchers speculate that Antarctica was not always the icy expanse it is today. Geological data supports that, millions of years ago, the continent may have had a temperate climate capable of supporting forests, rivers, and life. If intelligent beings had lived there before the polar shift, their cities and artifacts could now lie entombed beneath miles of ice, preserved but forgotten by history. The frozen UFOs in this view are not recent visitors, but ancient machines, either from Earth or elsewhere, lost to time and climate. In addition to theories about lost civilizations, there are those who argue that Antarctica may be a hub for ongoing extraterrestrial activity. Due to its remoteness and limited access, the region is seen by some as an ideal location for discrete operations or landings by non-human visitors. Over the years, a number of reported UFO sightings have originated from expeditions, research stations, and even satellite observers watching the skies above the southernmost continent. Though these claims are often anecdotal or unverified, they contribute to the growing body of lore surrounding Antarctica's unknown visitors. Despite the allure of these stories, confirming their validity remains difficult. Antarctica's climate and terrain make it one of the most logistically challenging places to explore on Earth. Travel is heavily restricted, and much of the interior is off-limits to the public, with access limited to government and scientific teams. Even for those allowed entry, weather conditions and the sheer scale of the landscape make in-depth investigation of suspicious areas nearly impossible without extensive resources. Adding to the intrigue are whispers of official secrecy. Some researchers have suggested that governments are aware of these strange objects, but choose not to disclose their existence. They cite the Antarctic Treaty System, which regulates international activity on the continent, as a framework that could be used to conceal findings under the guise of scientific cooperation. Others believe that some research expeditions may have uncovered more than they've disclosed, and that portions of the continent have been cordoned off not for environmental protection, but for containment and secrecy. Though many aspects of these theories remain speculative, what cannot be denied is the enduring power of Antarctica to inspire wonder and curiosity, whether through tales of ancient civilizations, possible alien visitations, or simply unexplained anomalies. The ice-covered continent continues to draw the attention of those searching for answers to the universe's deeper questions. Even as satellite technology improves and our understanding of Earth expands, some mysteries persist. What makes the idea of UFOs in Antarctica particularly compelling is that the landscape itself resists clear explanation. The vast ice sheets hide whatever secrets lie beneath, and only fragments, ambiguous images, second-hand accounts and half-buried structures surface for public scrutiny. To some, these are clues. To others, coincidences. But in every case, they invite us to imagine a reality far stranger than we are used to. Perhaps someday, with new exploration efforts and greater transparency, the truth about the objects embedded in Antarctica's snow will come to light. Until then, the frozen continent will continue to be a canvas for our deepest curiosities, a place where the lines between history, science, and speculation blur into one of Earth's most captivating mysteries. Carl Disch, a renowned physicist recognized for his significant contributions to the realm of particle physics, hailed from a quaint German town where his fascination with science, especially physics, bloomed at an early age. His academic journey commenced with the pursuit of physics studies at a university in Germany, and later took him across the Atlantic to the United States, culminating in the award of a PhD in particle physics. Despite his illustrious career, the scientific world was thrown into disarray by Carl Disch's inexplicable disappearance at Byrd Station in Antarctica. This enigmatic event has perplexed the scientific community to its core, leaving behind a trail of unanswered questions and sparking numerous theories and speculations. The mystery surrounding Carl Disch's fate continues to captivate the minds of researchers and enthusiasts alike. Throughout his professional journey, Disch played a pivotal role in advancing the realm of particle physics by making substantial and noteworthy contributions. His focused area of research revolved around the intricate examination of the characteristics of subatomic particles, showcasing a profound expertise in this specialized domain. Distinguished for his profound insights, Disch authored numerous scholarly articles in esteemed scientific publications, underlining his status as a distinguished authority in the field. Moreover, his reputation transcended borders, as evidenced by the frequent invitations extended to him to deliver keynote addresses at prestigious symposiums and esteemed educational institutions across the globe. Disch's impact extended beyond his research endeavors. His role as an educator and mentor was equally notable. Renowned for his adept teaching abilities, he garnered admiration as a professor appreciated for his accessibility and profound knowledge. His commitment to nurturing budding physicists showcased his dedication to shaping the future of the field, earning him immense respect among his students. Apart from contributing significantly to the academic realm through his research, Disch's legacy includes a profound influence on aspiring physicists, exemplifying a profound dedication to both knowledge dissemination and mentorship. Byrd Station served as a secluded research outpost, situated in one of the most extreme climates worldwide. This remote facility, known for its unforgiving environment, was where Disch embarked on his research journey with great enthusiasm. Despite the harsh conditions that surrounded him, Disch's determination and passion for his work remained unwavering as he delved into the complexities of his research. Upon his arrival at Byrd Station, a series of events unfolded that eventually led to his mysterious disappearance. Disch, a researcher hailed for his expertise and competence, started displaying unusual behavior marked by erratic and unpredictable actions. His concerned peers at the time attempted to establish contact with him in a bid to assist, only to be met with silence on his end. The transformation of Dish from a reliable professional to a troubled individual at Bird Station stirred deep apprehension among those who worked alongside him, prompting them to seek ways to support him despite his reluctance to engage. Over the ensuing days, Dish's conduct took a bizarre turn, escalating in peculiarity. His presence at the station was marked by aimless strolls, accompanied by incoherent muttering and erratic actions that raised concerns among his co-workers. Despite multiple attempts by his peers to address the situation, Dish remained obstinate, disregarding logical appeals and persisting in his unpredictable demeanor. After a series of unfolding events, the pivotal moments preceding Dish's vanishing occurred on a particular day when he was observed departing from the station and venturing into the unforgiving Antarctic terrain. Despite the earnest attempts of his companions to prevent him, Dish ventured into the wild and has remained beyond contact or sighting ever since. The circumstances surrounding his disappearance paint a mysterious picture, leaving many unanswered questions about what transpired in the vast and icy expanses of the Antarctic. In 1965, Dish and his fellow scientists, including other researchers, set foot at Bird Station, situated approximately 600 miles away from the South Pole, initiating a substantial and long-lasting scientific expedition. Over the following half-year period, Dish predominantly dedicated his time to operations within a radio booth positioned a significant distance of 1 mile from the primary station building. To facilitate navigation amid the challenging and unpredictable Antarctic climate conditions, a sturdy rope was strategically extended between these establishments, serving as a lifeline to ensure safe traversal in adverse weather scenarios. Carl Dish demonstrated great familiarity with the terrain as he navigated skillfully between buildings, adeptly using a rope for assistance. However, on the morning of May 8th, a peculiar turn of events occurred. He departed from the radio booth with the intention of reaching the station building, but mysteriously vanished, never to be seen again. This unexpected disappearance raised questions and sparked inquiries into the circumstances surrounding his final moments. After a thorough investigation, it came to light that Dish departed the radio booth precisely at 9 in the morning, a time when darkness still enveloped the surroundings. The weather conditions were harsh, with a relentless strong wind gusting through the Antarctic landscape, accompanied by a bone-chilling temperature plummeting to -44 degrees Fahrenheit. Despite the extreme cold, Dish donned specialized attire made for Antarctic exploration, ensuring he was adequately protected from the severe elements. Considering his attire and the familiarity of the route between the dwellings, the journey between the houses was estimated to be under 30 minutes. When Dish failed to arrive at the station by the designated time of 10 in the morning, his co-workers grew increasingly concerned. In response, they swiftly organized a search party to comb through the vicinity around the rope connecting the two structures. As the clock ticked towards 11:30 in the morning, their diligent efforts paid off when they stumbled upon a discernible path of human footprints originating from the radio box, hinting at a possible direction where Dish might have ventured. The traces commenced their journey from the base of a ladder connected to the cabin. However, rather than veering towards the south following the rope, which would be the conventional path one would anticipate, they took a westerly direction leading them to the ski trail meticulously planned by the scientific community. After meticulously tracing the tracks left behind by Dish, his companions diligently pursued the footprints for approximately 4 miles, only to be confounded when the trail abruptly vanished. The puzzling aspect of this scenario became glaringly apparent as the team scanned their surroundings, revealing no trace of a lifeless form believed to have been concealed by the snow, nor any indication pointing towards a potential attack on Dish that would have culminated in the removal of his body. Upon further observation, it appeared peculiar that, considering the circumstances of being lost in a blizzard, Dish's footprints did not exhibit the typical pattern of a person wavering back and forth in search of the correct route to the station. Instead, the tracks indicated a deliberate and intentional movement in a specific direction. This intriguing detail raised questions about the purpose behind Dish's confident stride amidst such challenging conditions. The clear direction in which he appeared to be heading suggested a determined resolve rather than uncertainty or confusion. Upon analysis, it was indicated that during the specific instance of movement, Carl did not perceive himself as being disoriented, or bewildered. Due to the depletion of their fuel reserves, the team faced obstacles in examining the location where the signs of Dish's presence had been absent for an extended period, prompting their return to the station. They made the unanimous decision to replenish the fuel for their means of transportation before resuming their investigation of the vanished tracks. Following the refueling process, the team re-engaged in a meticulous and exhaustive 3-hour exploration of the vicinity, yet the outcome remained disappointing as no significant discoveries were made during this extended search period. Upon their return to the base at 6 p.m, the team found themselves without any discoveries to report. The escalating winds had forced them to halt their inspection, rendering it impossible to proceed. Despite this setback, they clung to a glimmer of hope, fueled by the possibility that Dish, albeit chilled and lost, might still be alive, eagerly anticipating their rescue mission. The harsh weather conditions had thwarted their efforts, but the team's determination remained unwavering, as they refused to abandon the notion that their companion could be awaiting their arrival, in dire need of assistance. Upon arriving at the station, they commenced a thorough exploration of the surroundings, meticulously examining both the station premises and the radio booth. Subsequently, they rallied together to establish a human chain, systematically combing through the path connecting the base to the ski trail. This path was in close proximity to the point where the individual's tracks vanished, prompting a concerted effort to unravel the mystery. Despite facing challenging weather conditions, the team actively engaged in illuminating searchlights and launching flares at regular intervals of 30 minutes. They persisted in these efforts until the visibility deteriorated significantly, rendering these actions futile. During the subsequent day, the initiation of the third search mission took place, focusing on examining the vicinity spanning from the base to the ski run, following the chain of tracks. Regrettably, at that point, the tracks had predominantly deteriorated due to powerful winds. Occasionally, they encountered undamaged tracks along the way. However, after covering a distance of 4 miles, these tracks eventually vanished. The team diligently scoured the area, meticulously tracing the remnants of tracks despite the challenging conditions posed by the weather. On the fateful morning of May 10, 1965, which marked 2 days after Carl's mysterious vanishing, a renewed and extensive search operation was set into motion. The exploration initially commenced at the central station complex and subsequently extended towards the southern direction, conducting thorough searches in both the eastern and western regions, clearly marking the areas that were investigated. However, despite an exhaustive examination spanning 12 miles beyond the station boundaries, no discoveries were made. The meticulous search operation covered a significant radius outside the station compound, encompassing detailed sweeps of the surrounding areas in all cardinal directions. During the operations conducted on May 12th, thorough searches were conducted within the Baird Station's northeastern and southwestern areas. Despite the favorable weather conditions at that time, the darkness posed a significant challenge to the search efforts as visibility was greatly hindered. Subsequently, over the following 2 days, the combination of intense winds and dense fog severely limited visibility to the point where conducting further searches became unfeasible. This climatic deterioration hampered the search team's ability to continue their operations effectively, highlighting the intricate challenges they faced in their mission due to environmental factors. On May 14th, an extensive search covering an area of 35 square miles was conducted in an attempt to locate Carl, but unfortunately, no signs of him were discovered. Despite thorough efforts, neither Carl nor any clues leading to his whereabouts were unearthed. Subsequently, the search operation was called off. The inquiries that were raised in the past remain relevant even today. The perplexing circumstances surrounding Carl's deviation from his typical path along the rope continue to puzzle many. The mystery deepens with the question of how he managed to vanish without a single trace. It is intriguing that had he merely been lost and succumbed to the cold, his remains would likely have been discovered during the extensive search efforts. The abrupt cessation of his tracks, almost as if he evaporated into nothingness, adds an additional layer of complexity to this enigma. These unanswered questions linger, provoking curiosity and speculation about the bizarre sequence of events that led to Carl's mysterious disappearance. In the investigation of predator attacks in Antarctica, polar bears were swiftly dismissed as suspects since they are not native to the region, eliminating any potential involvement of four-legged predators altogether. The primary threat to coastal penguins comes from a limited group of predators, namely skuas, killer whales, and sea lions. In Antarctica, the vanishing of Carl Dish at Bird Station raised significant alarm within the scientific realm, prompting immediate and extensive search operations to locate him. The challenging terrain and extreme conditions of Antarctica posed obstacles to the search efforts, necessitating the formation of a specialized team of professionals to lead the investigative process. The disappearance of Dish not only spurred concerns about his well-being, but also underscored the complexities involved in conducting search and rescue missions in such a remote and unforgiving environment. The collaborative efforts of the assembled experts highlighted the meticulous approach taken to unravel the mystery behind Dish's disappearance. During the initial stage of the search operation, significant attention was directed towards the immediate vicinity of Bird Station. Dedicated search and rescue teams, in collaboration with volunteers from the scientific sector, meticulously combed through the area. This meticulous search encompassed a thorough exploration of the nearby wilderness on foot and an extensive aerial reconnaissance using helicopters. Regrettably, despite the exhaustive efforts exerted by the search teams, there was no trace or indication of Dish's whereabouts in this large-scale search operation. In the course of the ongoing search efforts, the focus gradually transitioned towards a more thorough and detailed examination of the series of events preceding Dish's vanishing. This thorough investigation encompassed conducting interviews with his associates and meticulously scrutinizing any accessible video or audio documentation from the station. Additionally, the inquiry delved into Dish's personal history and background in an endeavor to ascertain whether any pertinent details could provide clues regarding his mysterious disappearance. This meticulous scrutiny extended to exploring Dish's past and personal relationships to discern any potential leads that might illuminate the circumstances surrounding his sudden absence. Dish, a renowned physicist known for his dedication to research, mysteriously vanished, causing profound grief and sorrow within his circle of acquaintances. His unexplained absence not only led to unanswered questions, but also created a void in the scientific community due to his invaluable contributions. The mysterious vanishing of Dish within the scientific realm has triggered inquiries into the risks associated with conducting studies in extreme settings like Antarctica. Furthermore, it has initiated dialogues regarding the necessity of robust mental health resources for researchers stationed in these isolated regions. This incident has also reignited attention towards enhancing safety measures and protocols for individuals engaged in research activities within remote and arduous environments. Delving deeper into the implications of Dish's disappearance, the scientific community is now actively scrutinizing the challenges and demands faced by researchers working in such secluded and demanding conditions, emphasizing the critical need for comprehensive support systems and stringent safety guidelines to safeguard the well-being and security of researchers in the pursuit of scientific exploration. In the eyes of Dish's close friends and family, his sudden vanishing has struck them with immense sorrow and despair. Despite extensive search and rescue operations, there has been no trace of his whereabouts, leaving his dear ones clinging to the hope that someday he might reappear. This mysterious event has triggered contemplation on the toll that working in isolated settings can take on a person's psychological and emotional stability.